We're here, and like I told you, I said to expect the minority to be at its heckling best. Well, they started with repetition of the part of the national anthem that says, and help us to resist oppressors' rule. And as you've seen what's happening right now, they're walking out of parliament. It looks like the minority has decided to boycott this year's State of the Nation address. And so all the men in black seem to be going away, leaving their placards behind. But of course, you see the other side, the majority in their very brightly white knit dresses, and they're chanting away. And you know what that means as well. What it looks like right now is that we're going to have a one side of parliament listening to President Akufo-Addo. Well, what are your thoughts? Are you tired of this drama? Do you think that the absence of the minority will create any gap at all? Help us with your thoughts. This is really all about you. So go on our Facebook platform and send us a message there. We'll take it and we'll share it with the rest of the world. I'm coming to you to find out from you what your thoughts are. What it looks like right now is pretty obvious. The minority is walking out.
I am disappointed.
Why?
I am very disappointed. You see, this is a very important national event. It's to a very large extent apolitical. We do not know the content of the president's speech. If they decide,
and do you see what I see right now? There's a member of parliament that's just taking up the placards left by the minority, and he's tearing them up.
I don't know whether he's a member of parliament.
He's not a member of parliament. Well, we'll get our correspondents on the ground to tell us who he is. But it looks to me like one of the, perhaps the orderlies in parliament. I mean, those people who ensure that there's order. Because the speaker had earlier spoken against these sort of placards. And I'm trying to catch what it says. It's talking about the election mostly. It says, we know why Charlotte Osei did something.
And that's the member of parliament for the majority. Dr.
Okoboy, it's also trying to remove those placards. Free and fair elections. It generally talks about free and fair elections. This is really dramatic.
Some majority members of parliament
joining in as well. Pretty dramatic, isn't it? For a start.
It's disappointing. I believe that the NDC members of parliament must know that they owe a duty first to the Constitution of Ghana. They owe a duty.
And thanks for staying with us here on the Joy News channel, also live on Joy 99.7 FM. This is our continuous coverage of the State of the Nation address. Just the president delivered a short few minutes ago. We are also going to be taking a live press conference by the minority side in parliament. As you've just been listening, they boycotted the State of the Nation address just when the president had sat down after the national anthem and they had grievances. So here in detail what those grievances are. We have my colleagues still in parliament waiting for that press conference to happen. We'll be getting further updates from them and the latest also all from parliament. Right now though, my colleague MFA Powell is standing by with your comments from social media. MFA, what are people saying?
Okay, so loads. We'll start with WhatsApp. You can send your messages via WhatsApp. It's 054-010-9009. Then we'll go on to our Facebook platform and other social media platforms as well. A number of messages, Evans. So we'll start from this one from, he didn't have a name, but he's commenting on Communications Minister Esther Wusu's latest comment after the address. He says the nation is arguably healthy. Esther used radarless, meaning without radar. Don't forget, she's the Minister of Communication, and that's using their jargons. And this one also, some expectations ahead of it, and then also some commentary after it. This one from Abdul Razak from WA. She says the President of the Republic said they have recruited 65,000 health professionals from 2017 to 2019. Are the nurses who graduated from 2017 to 2019 not health professionals? Where from these 65,000 health professionals? Some questions there he's posing to the President. And this one says, disrespecting the President is highly unacceptable in front of guests of other countries, even in front of civilians watching or listening. In fact, the minority should apologize for this. That's from Muzaf in Kumasi. We also have another one which says, the President of the Republic. Okay, so that's the message that he sent in once again. So we have this one also saying, at Kati, Elias Wimbwepe says, who say Monday pa, the minority should have sat and witnessed the competent speech from the President. fear grip them. But my question is, will the minority debate on this very speech? If yes, then they should be ashamed. That's a Kati. So you know this is an issue that has been debated by the majority side, saying that they are going to prevent the minority from commenting on this. And then this one also from Daniel in Tamale, repeating Eslo Wisu's jargons, clueless, visionless, leaderless, and radarless. That's some comments there coming in. And we have this one also who say, Mano Day. And then this one also says, I was expecting the president to, you know, loads of the messages coming in and people also calling as well. We'll go on to Facebook shortly, our Facebook console, and then also check what people are talking about. You can stop calling the numbers and just send me messages. I can't pick your calls at this point. And this one says, I was expecting the president to talk about security. In fact, if you lack security in Ghana, it's very poor. I was expecting the president to say something about that. From Abdul Razak there. Finding it difficult understanding some of the things that you're sending in. This one, she says, I think the minority has done very well. Ghanaians must be taken seriously. Say no to oppression. And you know, they sang the part about resist oppressors rule 3 times before they staged the walkout. Let's go on to WhatsApp, Facebook now. We asked you the question, the minority has walked out of Parliament, fulfilling their earlier promise of boycotting the 2020 State of the Nation address. What you think about it? Some of your comments. Let's start with this one from Samuel Yeboah Shagbo. He says, the minority cannot disgrace our nation and Parliament, thinking they are embarrassing the NPP and Nanado. The NDC minority are out of order. As a nation, we need to show maturity in our service to Parliament and the nation in general. We cannot bring our out internal partisan political bickering to such a disgraceful level in the light of international community. Rather long message there from you, Samuel. Thank you very much for your message. We go on to Born to Win. He says, may God let them boycott the 7th December election as well. Some members of the majority have also said that. Now, he also says, I will never vote for NDC. It's like they don't care about the state, but rather to win power and steal our taxes. Kwamina Daniel says, these people will pay with we pay with Ghanaian taxpayers' money. NDC members, just look at what your so-called nose are doing. And Anda Fuseni says, it's a clear sign of defeat on their side. The earlier, the better. Alhaji Ibrahim Al-Hassan says, this is not the first time such incident has occurred in Ghana Parliament. The NPP did same in 2013. Moreover, why sit and listen to lies? Kujo Dabri says, the American Democrats, after impeaching Donald Trump, did not boycott the nation's address delivered by Trump. The difference is clear. And Mohammed Amin Abdullah says, it doesn't take away anything that His Excellency Nanado has for the good people of Ghana. Now, Yao Edua Samwa says, that is the only promise NDC has fulfilled. That's a Yao Edua Samwa. Now, Evergreen Raymond Oseitu said, they should go and listen to it on the radio. I hope they don't comment on any of the statements made. Kasim Yakubu says, yes, they are really right because what he's saying isn't really true. Setriako Alfred Chachu says, hope they won't be paid for today. Ghanaian politicians are only interested in their selfish gains. Godwin Fuller says, yes, they have to do it because the goal line technology are not working with floor lights, and that brings more errors in scoring lies. Real Ambule says they should as well boycott the general election 2020. And Adams Mohammed says, this is a party? No. They will listen to it on radio, Nana says. And then Eva Korek says, it's very good call. A number of messages that were sent there. Let's quickly go on to WhatsApp as well. Some of your messages that you've also sent there. And someone says it's a good turnout. And this one also says the minority should wake up and do more. We have this one also from Massive in Jamestown. The messages keeps coming in. We'll try and then catch up with it. I'm sure that we're waiting for the minorities press conference as well. I'll head back to you, Evans. I'll come back again later with more of your messages.
Emefa, thank you very much for that. We have more messages later on here as we continue to cover the State of the Nation address. The address itself is over, but there are tons of reactions coming through. We're waiting for the key one, the minority press conference. Let's go back to Parliament right now, where we'll be going there shortly because my colleague will be speaking to a few of the majority side, because they were in the House throughout this, getting some reaction from some of the ministers, in particular, the Information Minister will join my colleague, Daniel Dadzi, in Parliament shortly. But let's stay with your comments that we are still getting from social media. Definitely, the conversation around the boycott, the walkout, rather, of the State of the Nation address is one of the key things that is trending on social media with the State of the Nation address. Many are divided on this. You either applaud it or you loathe it, you reject it. I mean, that has been the split as far as this is concerned. In fact, I've seen a tweet from the German ambassador to Ghana who asked that question that we are asking on social media as well, what you make of the decision to walk out. We'll be going to Parliament shortly and speaking to my colleagues on the ground who have been speaking to a few of our friends also there, also just getting some analysis of it. We can go live now to Daniel Dadzi on the ground. Hello, Daniel.
Welcome back to the foyer of Parliament, where the President just finished delivering the State of the Nation address in the chamber.
Thank you very much, Daniel. He's been chatting there with Haji Alima Mahama, who is the local government minister. The NDC press conference, which is their own State of the Nation address, we understand is underway. We'll try and take you there shortly once we have the feed. But I have with me, of course, MFR Pao, who is still joining me with your comments on everything else that we've been talking about today, from the main address to the reactions that we are getting. Obviously, the conversation around the State of the Nation and the walkout on the minorities dominating. MFR, there is a question we asked people to tell us what their own state of nation is. People have been sharing some very interesting thoughts.
They have interesting comments on Facebook. So that's the question there with the hashtag SONA 2020. Paul Zowonu is the first to give us his comment. It says that market women in Accra sell food for us in filth. That's all the taxes we pay. It's only good to pay 600,000 workers. We borrow to do anything else. And he had a third pointer on the State of the Nation, that we live as if there is no tomorrow. We destroy our rivers and land, hoping Christ will come tomorrow and we won't need rivers, Evans. Now, this one from Nanefua says, not so good. Are we back to load shedding again? With this hot weather and lights out, Asemo, the water tariffs has been increased, but the tap is never flowing. That's her State of the Nation. Amos Jojo Spinto says unemployment is really high under this government. Christian Aku says at the moment, our nation is stateless, no shape, it's just Kosrokobo. You know Kosrokobo?
Yes, I mean, when you bigger at the top, smaller down there. Reginald has an interesting one. What happened today in our parliament is just a continuation of the match between Asante Kotoko and Adriana Stars yesterday, concert politicians. And I guess that's the view of some on the I guess the
State of the Nation.
I mean, that happened today, and also of course the State of the Nation. And then Richard says, I pity those who voted for them to occupy seats in Parliament. I guess this might be a reference to the walkout. How can you cause this embarrassment to the entire world? They should boycott the upcoming elections, and that will make Ghana a better place for us all. This wasn't a boycott, because they actually participated but walked out.
Just when the president was about to be introduced. So Yabua Afari Kwame says, is this in the constitution that the citizens must mount Parliament House and state their conditions of state? Joy, sit up. Okay, and then this one from Patrick Owusu says, so far as my pocket is empty, the State of the Nation address is nothing to me. Nana Amponsabediaku says, the minority have disgraced the country. They didn't give respect to the dignitaries invited. And we know that we had delegation from Barbados, amongst others. And like you said, the German ambassador has also been tweeting about the walkout. And Ansbet Ghana says that this nation has a state everywhere, corruption. Evans. And then this one's from Heckins Glover, says the State of the Nation today is that excavators and tricycles are being shared to ministers and party executives. The State of the Nation today is that the president went to Volta region, he went to Oti rather, and could not talk about or commission any major project his government has initiated for the people of the Volta region. Now, Abdul Rahman Bashar Sumani says the nation is as a state of insecurity, corruption, poverty, false accountability, injustice, high level of inflation, and weak currency management.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's one of the key things that the president talked about today. Also, he actually mentioned in the SONA today that the cedi is one of the best performing currency in the world. Of course, that's something that will be fact checking shortly. I think this is Bismarck. I think it's just written to be read, but the actual facts on the ground is different. That's where fact checking comes in. We'll be doing that for you today. Asiri says the action of the minority does a walkout irrespective of their stance on the state of the nation is a shame to Ghana's democracy. They owe us, the taxpayer, a responsibility to be present in Parliament because we pay them to be there to listen and deliberate on issues. Freesh Fali says, Mr. Speaker, we won't stop building toilets. What kind of precedent is this? Well, very interesting views there. Albert, my state of the nation is, as the president is pointing it out. And so he agrees entirely.
Yes, he agrees entirely
that
with
whatever
the
president says, the state of the nation is his personal state of the nation. Let's see whether Haking says a different view on this. Is Ghana is seriously under attack, with the president allowing his men and party executives taking over the Galamsey activities, all in the name of supporting party activities? I guess it's one of the most controversial things that he did.
We have more of your messages on what your state of the nation is. It's on our Facebook page, also on WhatsApp, loads of your messages. This one from Prince says, Ghanaians have indeed short memories. Don't you recall what NPP, then minority in Parliament, did to the former presidents, both John Mahama and Atenos in Parliament, whenever they are going to read the State of the Nation address? Are you surprised that it's happening today, is his question. And then Togo Borga says, the State of the Nation simply means what we are seeing around. What again? Francis Armstrong Arthur says, we need VAR in this year's SONA. I heard him saying he ended Dumso. He's not ashamed, cry. And then Alfred Daute says, Galamsey State. That's his state of the nation.
Well, very interesting views coming in. Kweku is expressing sadness. Mr. President failed to say anything about our lockup funds, management whose license were revoked by SEC. Well, the president talks about the financial sector. He talks about the banking sector. I mean, rightly so. He didn't mention the fund managers. But one of the assurances he gave was that if your funds have been locked up, you'll be paid. I mean, so you that's what the president said.
You're getting 100%.
100% the president says you will get it. So we don't know whether that includes those who had issues where the fund managers were concerned. Fund managers like Gold Coast Securities, etc., were concerned. Also, people there had also lost some funds. But the president had an assurance today that you will get your funds back in full. So watch that space. But there'll be more comments also coming in, Mefa.
So we turn to WhatsApp now. This one from Emmanuel Inwa says, I was expecting the president to hit on the unemployed graduate nurses, both private and public, from 2017 to 2018 badges. Looks like we're getting a number of messages regarding the health sector. And this one also says, Mother Ghana. So are these the same people or MPs that some of us voted? This is uncultured attitude on the part of the NDC. I'm ashamed to be a Ghanaian. It has no name. And then this one says, the state of the nation is full of deception, corruption, and show of power. No name as well. Please try and add a name to the messages that you send us. Also, SONA 2020 is also trending on Twitter as well. This one from DJ Ken Black says, I think you people should interview everyone, not only for a few. So he's wondering why Daniel and the team on the ground are not speaking to the NPP, the NDC, I should say. They are gathering to have a press conference that Evans talked about, which we'll be giving to you live shortly.